Alright, twinettes, twins, and D. Look, good afternoon all my twins. You know what I'm saying? Hope all my twins doing good. You know what I'm saying? All that good shit, man. Yeah, one of the twins said I should do this shit in the comments. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like watching something, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and watch it." You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I ain't in the mood to turn up right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a real turn up, get hype type of mood right now. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna just chill. You know what I'm saying? Smoke a blunt. Watch this shit, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, hope all my twins doing good, you know what I'm saying? Hope you're having a good day, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and drop a like for the 20, you know what I'm saying? All that good shit, man. We recently just hit 360 subs. So, go ahead and drop a sub for the 20, you know what I'm saying? We coming up on 370 subs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't really know what this video, I mean, I guess these niggas I guess they finna be telling us some shit that we not supposed to be knowing. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get into it, baby. I'm going to see what twin talking about, man. Yeah. Shout out to all my twins, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, boys. Mwah, bro. But we're going to go ahead and get into this video, man. We're going to see what's going on.
So far this year, 128 children have been shot, at least 18 killed.
More and more prosecutors say social media is either playing a role or providing key evidence, from threats online to the reality of gunfire.
Nigga doing all that trolling, he got hit. Rolling F about the zip. Gumbo out west, try to rain, he got hit.
Her 8-year-old son shot out of nowhere.
The shooting happened last night in Combs Creek, and that's where NBC 10's Brandon Hudson is joining us now live. And Brandon, I understand police say these bullets were meant for 2 other teenagers who were outside at the time.
Everybody K, 1500K, WSMK, 1400K.
I let 9 off the pound and bung that bitch like it's a Nina. Put a 30 in that 17, a hole inside my beater. Dumbass was in the wrong places, dumbass got deleted. Double S, it ain't alright, but I still smoke them, I be chiefin'.
I don't know where my other light is.
Bro, turn on the switch, he try to hop out, hit her face.
You know, the violence in the city is really heartbreaking. There's only but so many condolences and prayers we can offer. You know, at some point, we have to see a change in culture, a change in behavior.
Earlier this month, on August 23rd, NBC 10 released a 3-part series called The Trigger Goes Click: How Social Media is Fueling Philly Area Gun Violence. It talks about how authorities are keeping track on a rise in social media self-snitching and are using evidence they have found to convict people more and more over the last 3 years. They talked about how people somehow haven't caught on yet that you're leaving a trail of breadcrumbs when you talk about or even record crimes you were involved in and know about. This was impossible with the technology 20 years ago. But this generation has grown up alongside social media, and society has seen devastating effects.
I heard boom, boom.
November 2018, West Philadelphia.
Right here, right here.
Gunfire tore up this block as an 8-year-old boy was hit by a stray bullet.
Jacqueline, investigators are working to confirm if the victims were chased by the shooter or shooters. This shooting has not only victims' families scared, but their neighbors too. Bullets hit this black car behind me, which is right outside a state representative's office. Someone who is working to serve this community.
Right here, right here.
5 bullet holes on Takia Harrison's house.
Bro, no cap, I thought this shit was on my screen.
Reasons her 8-year-old son won't return home. 1 bullet grazed the young boy's face last night. Gunfire erupted while he played in the living room.
I ducked my kids, grabbed my son because I seen blood, picked him back up. Mom, I was hit, I was hit, I was hit. I don't want to die.
Philadelphia police say the 2nd grader was an innocent bystander in a shooting which targeted a 15 and 16-year-old. All 3 victims will survive, but parents on Ludlow Street are anxious. The police say it's possible a social media beef led to last night's shooting.
It's been almost 5 years now. The bullet holes are still here, but the shooter, Deshaun Packer, is now in prison.
This feud essentially starts over social media.
This feud began in the summer of 2018. Police say one group near 64th and Callowhill went on Instagram Live, and then one of their rivals, just a few blocks away, hopped on the chat and started trashing.
Why like he ready to go live and show. He really ready to like that's crazy.
Then one
bro.
of their rivals, just
This
a few
nigga now, he
blocks
funny
away,
for that, bro.
hopped on the chat and started trash talking, split screen.
It's a big thing to go on social media and insult the memory of a group's deceased member. Once you go on Instagram Live, they're coming for you.
It led to 3 shootings that summer and fall. Prosecutors obtained Instagram data.
These are Instagram direct messages
Showing the accused shooter, Deshaun Packer, posting pics with a similar gun inside a similar car used in that drive-by.
So we were able to use these public Instagram posts.
Cases like this are now somewhat routine at the task force. Unknown just how much of the city's gunfire has genesis online, but teens here say juvenile beefs are quite public.
For it to be happening on Instagram, Snapchat, and all these other apps, it's making it worse.
The DA's office points to root causes of violence like poverty, plus a surge of guns on the street, and now daily disputes are happening at the speed of apps.
In the article, it says, in a recent conversation with NBC 10, Assistant District Attorney Palmer detailed how his office has investigated a recent case, explaining how social media can be used as a way for those who plan to commit violence to strategize before a planned crime or to regroup after one. Palmer also discussed how his office can use these posts and online conversations in its investigations. We will look at the victim's social media accounts, said Palmer, because what we want to see is, are they in a dispute with anybody? Are there any direct messages in their Instagram accounts where they are in an argument with somebody in the days leading up to the shooting? Have they been posting anything publicly where they are coming after a certain group? Have they insulted anybody in their public post? Anything like that, just looking for any sort of motive. Palmer shared evidence pulled from a direct Instagram message in a case involving a 22-year-old Deshaun Packer who was convicted at trial and is serving 10 to 20 years in prison for attempted murder and other charges. Packer's social media activity helped put him there. This post was used as evidence to help convict Packer. Then, the article takes an unexpected turn. It starts to get specific with identifying some of the underground stuff that most people don't know is happening. They talk about the culture of encouragement and incitement. While reading this, I'm like, okay, I've never seen the news talk about specifics very much. They allude to rappers and people who encourage and cheerlead the violence, but rarely do they mention rappers' names unless they have been killed. So I thought this should be interesting. I'm sure they're going to talk about those pages that keep score and encourage the groups to get back. Tracking feuds between rival gangs.
What the fuck?
Tracking feuds between rival gangs, pointing fingers at potential shooters after a homicide, and sharing details of the harsh realities of those who live their lives with a finger perpetually on the trigger. It has all become something of a cottage industry online. In many cases involving gang crime and social media, drill music may be involved as well. Then they go on to talk about how drill music started in Chicago. Drill music is a subgenre of hip-hop that originated in Chicago in the early 2010s before moving to other cities across the United States as well as the United Kingdom. Okay, we know that. Okay, common knowledge at this point, but I'm sure they'll get deeper. Breaking down the beefs involved in drill music has become popular subject matter on the internet. On YouTube, you can find channels like Say Cheese TV that shares interviews with drill rappers, or the Philadelphia-focused American Confidential, which attempts to provide context to violence in the city streets. Okay, I thought we were talking about the problem here, but I'm sure they'll talk about the real problem next. It's also something of an open secret that depictions and discussions of gang violence often appear on online communities, such as Reddit's Philly Wiki. What the fuck? That particular Reddit.
Why he said, nigga, what the fuck? Yo,
Reddit's Philly
why you
Wiki.
said it like that?
What the fuck? That particular Reddit section, known in the site's parlance as a subreddit, has nearly 70,000 members and hundreds are active on the forum at any given time, according to Philly ADA Palmer. Users there generally know about activity of different gangs throughout the city. Quote, they seem to have good knowledge generally of the feuds and who's involved and what groups are and who's fighting who, he said. No the fuck they don't. Most people who know what's going on are not on Reddit. That's not to say that people in the know aren't there, but in the scale of the things this article is talking about, the news could have brought up why this subreddit exists in the first place. 90% of the info on there is false, but let's see what they say the issue is. Palmer warned, however, in terms of who is actually responsible for certain incidents, the post on Reddit probably doesn't meet the standard that responsible journalists would find reliable. It's important to note that hip-hop music, which historically has been scapegoated for urban gun violence, isn't necessarily tied to crime in the city. It's weird that I find it weird that they mention that, but find it necessary to bring up this subreddit. It's just another subreddit among the hundreds of thousands of different subjects on Reddit. I don't think this subreddit violates any terms of service or anything about Reddit. It has heavy moderation, so I just don't understand what the link they're trying to make here is. But let's see what they have. I might be jumping the gun. Let's see what else they have to say. Any rapper knows that, for example, if you say you want to kill somebody, it doesn't mean you're actually going to do it. Then they link the Eminem song Criminal. Good example there. Gun violence in major cities has also been an issue decades before drill music emerged on the music scene. So basically, they're saying the subreddit is gossip, so why are you even mentioning it? Then they go on to mention the death of Sadiq Dove, or Deek Loco. Here's what they had to say. Sadiq Dove was an 18-year-old rapper who claimed an association with a South Philadelphia street gang. He was gunned down in a July 2023 ambush at the corner of 17th and Christian Street. In his own music, he admitted that he was involved in a long-running feud between rival gangs. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported such gun violence between groups in the city. Then they linked to an old-ass article about shit from 2015. Those online videos and internet bravado led to real-world violence. A photo of Dove's dead body laying face down on the sidewalk along the 900 block of South 17th Street was posted on Reddit shortly after his death. The photo was viewable to the public for weeks, though it has since been deleted. Then they go on to show the photo, which is like, what? Why? To make the point of how desensitized we are to violence around us, I would agree if they had a better example than a subreddit would quote hundreds of people on it at any given time. Like I said, the article then shows the picture that they are complaining about. Then they go to the comments. They completely skip the first comment complaining about the image. Then they go to point out someone's comment speculating how many people Sadiq killed. Then they ignore the following 3 comments that was condemning that first comment. And that's part of my point. If you go on that subreddit right now, most posts attempting to glorify any aspect of this culture usually get shredded in the comments. Now, there is some clown shit posted on there and clown comments and people and all that. But as a whole, it's a good outlet for younger people to get together and talk about the city and bid all in one place like it was intended. I don't think this news article talking about this should have included that subreddit. I just don't understand why they're going after our city subreddit when I can think of 10 things that they didn't mention that are more harmful about drill rap and the culture surrounding it. Every major city has a subreddit that talks about its hoods and the unique situations we find ourselves living in every day. There are also other subreddits dedicated to violence, including gore and uncensored videos of all kinds of things. Saying this one is unique is a stretch by the news. Plus, if you want to talk about what social media is doing to our kids' brains and not mention what's going over on Instagram, seems like an incomplete story at best and intentionally going out of their way to not single out a single account. Well, over on Instagram, there's something brand new that has somehow crept into the culture of drill rap. Those pages that keep score. Now, I've been watching this develop over the last year or two. And to be clear, there are at least 20 or 30 pages of different sizes and themes. But there is one that sticks out. One that gives me this feeling that they don't want the violence to end. Let's look at an example. This Instagram page has 21,000 followers. And before I start this rant, I want people to understand, I don't want this page taken down. Whoever runs this page should have the freedom of speech to post whatever he or she wants to. But, I mean, if we're talking about the problem with drill rap culture, why would you leave out all of the bullshit on Instagram? I don't mind trolling and bidding. But when you start to incite, that's my line.
What is it? Nigga gave him attributes. What the fuck? Feet on land? What the? I'm confused. Yo, what? Strength 20? What the fuck? Ball handle, shooting from deep, shooting from mid range, shooting from close, driving dunk. What the fuck is going on? Nigga said finals appearance. What does that mean? What is the finals? What? What's the finals?
Drill rap culture, why would you leave out all of the bullshit on Instagram? I don't mind trolling and bidding. But when you start to incite, that's my line. This page isn't unique. I can't make that clear enough. So this page started out pretty much as a troll page, and you could tell by the theme of the page that this person is not involved in anything. They are fans of this music and drill culture. They think this is entertainment. That says a lot more about desensitization than any subreddit. Lean Grave Pissed On by Ariav. First, why the fuck would you post this? Second, that's not Liam's grave. That's a teddy bear memorial. And even if this was his grave, what purpose is there to post this other than to incite? And once again, this page isn't unique on Instagram. I would have no problem if this page posted this with no caption or even a caption condemning it. I'm not trying to hide the reality of what's happening in our city. What I don't like is encouraging these groups to retaliate against each other. Some might argue that that's what I do on this channel. I disagree.
So wait, he said so is what the?
Might argue that that's what I do on this channel. I disagree. But if someone could show me how me going over and documenting things that have been posted by other people and disavowing the behavior is wrong, I'm willing to hear those arguments. The only argument I've heard so far that gives me pause is when people say that I'm profiting off the deaths of these individuals. Here's the reality. I care about my city and want this culture of violence to come down dramatically. I'm not under some illusion that I'm going to save the city or change the culture with one of these videos. But I feel the more exposure on the bullshit, the more pressure there is to end it. Because if no one speaks negatively about drill rap and just ignored it or show indifference towards it, like I did for the first 3 years, all you have is the drill rap and its fans. People have to know that most of us aren't okay with this. But to criticize it, you have to know it. I've never been a drill rapper or even a rapper for that matter. But I know what being on both sides of that gun is like. I know them cold nights on State Road, regretting your mistakes. So, it's fair to criticize my channel, but the stuff that goes on this Instagram page is on another level. The tortures have yet to get back for Chucky after he was demolished by WSM at the end of last season.
Demolished is crazy. God, what the fuck? Damn, nigga.
Back for Chucky after he was demolished by WSM at the end of last season and forced to retire. Would the Torchers win a game against WSM this playoffs? Sender's Projects gave up 30 points in the first quarter of their game.
Why is he talking about this shit? Like, this shit is a basketball. Like, bro. Alright, bro. Because it's like, why is he talking? Like, bro. This shit is like. What the fuck? This ain't no fucking tournament, nigga. This ain't no league. These niggas, yo. Nigga said any bets? I got. What the fuck? Nah, this is crazy.
7th Street, Clappers, CCK. They just came back and dropped multiple threes, leaving Clappers with 3 injuries in less than an hour.
That shit is out of pocket, bro.
If that post made no sense, it's because it's gibberish. It's intended to be a part of this lore or world they made up in their head. It's the theme of the page. These are the, quote, pages you hear rapper mentions from time to time in lives. It has to be a teenager running this account. With not much time on their hands, drill rap has become entertainment to them. That's the only way to explain it. If this is an adult with a fully developed brain, then this individual actually might be sick in the head or a little thrown off. There is no way to watch Death After Death and cheer it on and then go live a normal life. Unless there's something I'm missing. G12 Zai was shot in his right hand last night. In my eyes, a post like this is perfectly acceptable, as they simply stated what happened, no commentary or incitement. Look, like I said, this individual has the right to post whatever they want, but I have the right to criticize it. I can be here all day showing you the crazy, federal, self-hating, gun violence perpetuating shit that this page posts. But
nah, he fed up. He fed up with the pages, bro. Sway fed up with the pages.
I can be here all day showing you the crazy, federal, self-hating, gun violence perpetuating shit that this page posts. But it's not about that one page. It's about the culture, the desensitization, the encouragement, the casual disregard for the state of the place you call home. And this page,
talk to him, twin,
once again, isn't the only one. Anyway, article goes on. A dead body popping up in your feed, being called out or insulted online, and constantly reading threads full of threats, boasts, and put-downs. What impact might the exposure of this type of social media activity on a daily basis have on the audience that consumes it? Assistant District Attorney Palmer said he worries that the prominent criminal activity and threatening boasts on social media, especially in the case of young people, can lead to further acts of violence. It's one thing to privately do this to somebody, said Palmer, but to do it as something that can be seen so publicly embarrassing, often in the eyes of these groups, demands a response. They also talk about the physiological effect all of this is having on the young minds. Somebody puts up a post, insult and say, Joe Smith, and then everybody goes online and says, oh, so-and-so just called out Joe Smith. What's he gonna do? Maybe under ordinary circumstances, Joe Smith would have been willing to let that roll off his back. But now everyone is saying, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? And these people who are not directly involved in the violence themselves are feeding this endless cycle of retaliation like it's a soap opera on TV. Unlike in the past, threats online live in the public square rather than being widespread in a school hallway or in passing, according to Dr. Nicole Machinsky, psychologist and executive director at Dr. Robin Lowy and Associates. Where bullying used to be something that took place in school, in a schoolyard, and you can escape it, said Machinsky. That's no longer a thing. You can't escape it, right? Because your phone goes with you to all those places. You can look at it and see that someone is saying something cruel about you. You can see that you're being taunted. You can see you're being threatened everywhere. 97% of kids have some sort of social media access, and 75% are on social media every day, according to Dr. Machinsky. With that much time spent online, social media interactions can be just as important as face-to-face conversation. Social media has a huge role in teens' lives, she said. She also noted the most popular content filtered to the top of a user's feed can often be the most negative because negative posts fuel more interactions than the positive ones. The mental health aspect is key here because this is the first generation of kids to grow up with nothing but social media. So we have no idea how damaging this is or has the potential to be to their brain and social development. We just assume it has to get better at some point, but we don't know that 100%.
Heel Love was killed by a stray bullet. According to court documents, 2 rival groups from Bristol Township had an ongoing rap beef.
Yes, it was on social media and it further fueled this beef.
One group then urinated on the memorial of deceased young men, their rivals, then posted the video online. It led to gunfire.
And a young, innocent man was killed. Those taunts have absolutely resulted in shootings and resulted in murders.
Bucks County prosecutors say it's just one example of how social media is fueling feuds.
And it's not just in Philadelphia and major cities. We're seeing it in the collar counties as well.
The county joining a growing lawsuit against major companies, calling out Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat.
In announcing the lawsuit, Bucks County Solicitor Joe Kahn went as far to compare social media companies to the corporations that profited off the opioid crisis. The algorithms they are using aren't accidentally getting children addicted, said Kahn. They are purposely getting children addicted to using their products, and they are doing it in insidious ways. I've somehow hit 20,000 subscribers, and I owe you guys some kind of random video.
Well, W Twin, man. W Vid, W Watch, bro. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with that, you know what I'm saying? I be telling y'all, man, I fuck with these stories, man. I ain't gonna lie. Them pages is definitely out of pocket, though. I ain't gonna lie. Them pages is definitely crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's some crazy shit. I ain't gonna lie. Damn. I ain't that nigga talking about that bitch like this bitch a whole NBA league, bro. Now he talking about this bitch like, damn. He got these niggas with overalls, ratings, and all type of shit going on. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Let me know how y'all felt about that watch, man. Go ahead and like, comment, drop, like good shit, man. Shout out to the twin, you know what I'm saying, who dropped this in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my twins. Shit. Shout out to all my twins, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all boys, you know what I'm saying? All that good shit, man. We coming up on 370 subs, you know what I'm saying? So, go ahead and drop a sub for the twin, you know what I'm saying? It's a, he got a dual, buddy got a dual video that I want to do too. I'm going to do that shit. That bitch 2 hours, though, so, yeah. I'm going to have to get to that bitch one of these days or one of these nights. I'm going to have to sit down and do that shit, you know what I'm saying? I might do 2 parts. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, like good shit. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, hope you're having a good day, twin. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do some music later on tonight. You know what I'm saying? Later on and shit like that. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get out of there, man. And I'm going to see y'all niggas in the next one, bro.